Here we go. Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m. in the Room podcast with Aaron Short Fuse Hughes. Aaron, what's up, my man? We're a little late tonight, but we are always late, brother. It's crunch time for you, even though it's 3 weeks away. Still, these nights are vitally important for your training for this fight coming up. So let's talk about it, brother, man. Congratulations on making it to NEF on the 21st of this month, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, bro. I just did a 2-week training camp out in California with Team Alpha Male. So big shout out to Uriah Faber and those guys for having me out there and giving me some great work, some great looks. I feel like I leveled up a lot while I was out there. Now I'm back home training at Regiment, great training partners, great coaches, man. It's been a great camp. My weight is so low. Like, I've never been this low this far out. So that goes out to my nutritionist. Thank you. Her name is Trisha Cornell, if anybody's interested. Yeah, man. I mean, I've just never felt like this mentally and physically this far away from a fight. Like, I'm fucking ready to go tomorrow.
Well, you mentioned Cornell. She's out of she does a lot of the Muay Thai fighters and a lot of MMA fighters too, man. She's very popular as far as, the nutrition business. How'd you get connected with her?
So I got connected with her through Ross Levine. He said he's been working with her for like 7 camps, and he said that it makes the weight cut so much simpler, so much easier. Yeah, I've been working with her probably for like 4 weeks now, 5 weeks in this camp. I'm down 10 pounds easy, but I'm eating a lot. Like, I'm eating all day long. So it's definitely been a game changer for my training. I feel like I'm able to push through. Like, I'm doing 3 sessions a day, 5 days a week, So I'm able to push through those sessions due to my nutrition, So.
Excellent. You showed a few pictures of yourself on, on the internet. You're you're getting very popular on Instagram and stuff, brother. So, kudos to you for keeping that social media up. But man, you do look lean. You look great, brother. What, besides the nutrition, what has changed between this training camp and that the pro debut training camp?
Not much has changed, man. I mean, I'm just putting in the work. Seeing Mitch and Chris fight on the biggest stage. Like, Chris is a superstar. Mitch is on the Ultimate Fighter. You know what I mean? Like, Jorgen's fought 3 times in the UFC. It's like I'm training with those guys every day, and like I'm competing with those guys in the gym, and I'm like, I know I have the skills to fight at the next level. I just have to win fights, man, and that's why I'm very excited about this upcoming matchup. He's 1-0, just like myself. He trains at a decent school in New Hampshire, or Maine, wherever the hell he's from. But I think I'm just gonna be way too much for him, man. I think I'm too well rounded. I'm too good on the feet. I'm too good on the ground. I'm too good in the clinch. I'm just too technical for this guy, and I'm very excited for the matchup, man. It's gonna be a great fight, a great night. So not much has changed besides me training at Team Alpha Male for 2 weeks. It's my 3rd time going down there, It's just every session is hard, So I'm in crazy shape because I was pushing my body like really hard every single day, and I'm just leveling up every day. I'm getting better every single day, and yeah, that's pretty much all that's changed,
Well, you spoke about your opponent. You didn't mention his name. His name is Jacob Detmeyer. He is from Maine. I think he trains out of First Class MMA in Maine. One coincidental fact about him is his professional debut was against an opponent you were supposed to have when you were supposed to fight for NEF. He finished Carl Langston in the first round. I was actually at that fight. That was the last NEF card before, everything went to shit. He looked pretty damn good in there. I mean, Carl Langston, I don't think has a win yet, but, that really doesn't tell how good Carl is. I mean, he's fought high-level fighters.
So,
but go ahead.
I've watched that fight a couple times. I mean, yeah, Carl's 0-5, 0-6, whatever. But he came out and he put a pace on Jacob right away. He fucking took him down. He controlled him on the ground. You know, he got judo tossed. Like, bro, like, how do you get judo tossed like that? I just think that Carl is too much of a mental midget to keep pushing when things get tough. And I'm not gonna quit. You're gonna have to knock me out cold, or I'm gonna keep coming. You know. So I think that this is a great matchup for me. I see a lot of holes in my opponent's game, and I'm going to exploit those holes, man. I'm going to win this fight, and it's gonna be an exciting fashion.
Excellent. Well, at this level, there's tons of tape on him. Neff does a great job promoting their fighters and the fights themselves. So I'm sure, not only that last fight, he's fought for Neff his whole career. So there's a bunch of footage on him. Usually I would say you're going into his backyard, but Neff is not in Maine for this card. They will be in Milford, Massachusetts, Milford, New Hampshire. I'm sorry. And that's not, that's a little closer. I mean, I think that might be it could be halfway between both of you guys. So this could be a neutral kind of fight here, man. What you thinking? What do you think the crowd's going to be for him or you?
I would assume that he would have more fans, just because it's his local home promotion. I've never fought for Neff before, and it's still like 2 hours away from me, so I'm not sure how far it is from him, but I'll probably have like 20 people there. Sold a couple cage side tickets, so I would say he has the crowd advantage, but I mean, I went down to fucking Tennessee, everybody was booing me, I had two friends who went to the fight, and they were trying to like fight people in the crowd, because they were booing. So regardless, I'm coming to put on a show either way. So I'll have fans with me. I'm sure he'll have fans with him, but it ain't gonna matter at the end of the day because my hand's gonna be raised.
Excellent. Well, as you were talking about Tennessee and the hostile crowd, I'm playing some of your fight footage. I do believe this is the end of the fight where you finished him in the first minute of the second round. Grueling pace in this fight also for you, my man. What did you learn from this fight that's going to, bring you along in the second fight?
I learned in that fight that I've grown so much as a fighter in the mental aspect. Very first round, I was kind of getting pieced up a little bit. I got caught in a deep choke, and I could have quit right there, and nobody really would have said anything, to be honest with you. My face was purple. I mean, I was pretty close to passing out, and something just kind of came over me, man. Like I say what you want, but it kind of felt like magic, and they were like, you're not fucking quitting right here, like you're not quitting on yourself. And I think 3 years ago I would have gave up right there, but I'm not fucking quitting. Like, I'm coming. You're gonna have to fucking choke me unconscious or break my arm or knock me out cold if you want to win this fight, because I'm gonna keep coming. You know what I'm saying? So my mental game is so much stronger than it was 2 years ago, and I learned that a lot in that first pro fight.
Excellent. Well, you came home. How long you been home since you came back from Cali?
Yeah. So I flew home Saturday. I flew home Friday night, like overnight. I landed at like 5 a.m. I was training with Mitch at 11 a.m. We were training. So I've been back for a couple days. Yeah.
That's cool. I took. I'm showing some footage right now. I always take your shit off Instagram and stuff of some bits and pieces of your stand up here. I don't know who put this together, but it's kind of cool of you just doing some so a little mitt work with Brian and hitting the bag, dude. Someone contacted me on YouTube. I think I have actually that fight footage on YouTube of your professional fight. And someone contacted me about it if they could use that footage because they're doing a highlight or some kind of documentary or something on you, man. What's going on with that stuff, buddy? You're building yourself, man, in the right way. It's you surround yourself with a lot of great people, and they have a lot of eyes on them. So of course that's gonna trickle to you, man. Who's helping you along? Who's hyping you up in the social media heights now?
Yeah, so probably about a month ago or so, this girl named Megan, she works for like some local TV company. She said she wants to do documentaries on like people who are blowing up in Fall River. She did one on Jorgen like a few months back. So I was like, hell yeah, like I'm in there. So she came in, she filmed me training, did a few interviews. Tomorrow she's coming again. She's gonna interview like Brian and Tommy and my brother, because he's like the one that got me started in the sport and stuff, But yeah, it's kind of surreal, honestly. Like a lot. Like I'm not even really that big yet. Like I'm only 1-0. But like I go to stores. I like everywhere I go. They're like, yo, you still train at Regiment? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know who you are. Like who are you? You know what I'm saying? They're like, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up, man? Like it's kind of cool to see. It's kind of surreal. But I fucking love it, man. Dude, I love it.
Dude. Well, yeah. I mean, you got everything now. You got a fucking. I don't want to say a chick, but you got a chick following you around that knows social media. Is just documenting people blowing up in Fall River. It's a close-knit community, even though it's a big community. Everyone kind of knows each other there. And Regiment's a big factor. I mean, most of your training partners live in the same area. So, dude, you got like, Lars came out and put some of your gear, some of your swag on the website. Dude, I think you bought every piece of fucking article. You're like a walking Aaron Hughes, short fuse fucking billboard, brother, man. What's going on, dude? You're like, you hit the next level. I mean, the brand's getting out there, and at such a fast pace, and at 1-0, man. What drives that? How did that come all about?
So I decided to put everything that I have into fighting, right? So I've never had a camp where I've been able to just focus on training and eating right and just fighting, because I work full time and I got family and whatever. So like usually work till like 3:30, and then I have to go right to the gym, and I have no time to recover or anything, But I took the entire summer and I haven't worked at all. I'm just focusing on training. I've been teaching private lessons and stuff, and it'll grow your brand like really, really fast, man. Like people want to learn, and they want to learn from local people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm at the point now where I have a decent following, and word spreads quickly, especially in Fall River, So yeah, that's all there really is to it.
Well, I've seen you on a couple of, a couple other interviews, podcasts, and stuff like that, man. So great for you for getting yourself out there, man, and you're performing in the cage. I mean, that last fight, man, showed a lot of you. You had some adversity in there with, getting caught in a little choke in the beginning of the fight, fought out of it, and then you finished the dude basically in his backyard with, a hostile crowd that your friends had to like fight off, man. So what are you expecting out of Neff? I mean, there's no chicken wire around the Neff cage. You know what I mean? It's fucking, their fans are a little more laid back and not as hostile, but still they're going to be roaring against you, man. Is that something that you're pumped up about to kind of spoil this dude's party?
Honestly, like, in the past, pressure would break me, but now, like, I fucking embrace the pressure. Like, it can either break you or it can make diamonds, man. And pressure is gonna make me into a diamond, and I'm gonna come into this dude's hometown, and they're gonna know who I am real quick, I'm coming to win, and I'm gonna put on a show.
Dude, as far as the gym, man, like you mentioned earlier, you got Mitch Raposo. That the Ultimate Fight is still going on. I mean, that show's still going on, even though he's not recording and not filming it. It's still going on, so he's still kind of hush hush, and he hasn't exploded. We don't know what his future is at this moment, but we do know Chris Motino with that outstanding fight against O'Malley that just blasted him into another spectrum of famousness. And, Jorgen is always Jorgen. You know what I mean? He's always going to be that name. Dude, man, has had any of that trickled to you? I mean, Chris's fucking Instagram is like probably at 220,000 now. Anything he puts out, I mean, do you beg him to put your face out there? Hey,
It's insane. Honestly, like every time I post something, I give him a little tag. I'm like, maybe he'll fucking post this. You know what I mean? He shared one of my videos on Twitter, and within like 10 minutes, I was getting people messaging me telling me I suck, and I was getting like all this shit, and I'm like, just because Chris shared my video, I got all these fucking people. I'm like, what the hell?
Dude, that fucking the O'Malley and the jealous people just hate to love Chris, man. He's got a cult following of millions at this point.
He's got it's kind of funny, right? Because when he got the fight, he had 1,600 followers.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, he was at like 6,000. And then I remember while he was fighting, we kept refreshing. It was going up by like 10,000 a minute, dude. It was fucking crazy.
Everyone wanted to know who he is.
170 now or something. It's insane.
I was
like, Chris,
yeah,
that spotlight, man.
we were at the Cage Titans show. And we were watching it, you know what I mean? We were trying to focus on the fights and watching it. And then as soon as that fight was happening, we were like, by the time it got to the, close to the end, we were like, he's an instant star, man. We weren't watching how much punishment he was taking. We were like, this is Chris. This is the way Chris fights. These people didn't know that, you know what I mean? And then he just took off from there, man. He's a real fighter. And, dude, good for all the camp here. Who's going to be in your corner, at Neff?
So I'm gonna have Brian and Tommy, my striking and my jiu-jitsu coach, and Mitch.
Mitch, awesome,
yeah.
Man, awesome.
The last time Mitch cornered me was a kickboxing smoker, and I kind of just put on like a masterclass of a performance, and he was just breaking stuff down like so easily and stuff, So yeah.
Was that
big opportunity? Definitely gonna have him in my corner. So.
Was that at Gillette's or Wishes?
It was at Gillette's, yeah.
I think I recorded that fight. I think I did. You were throwing. Yeah, you did very well. But you always do, yeah, dude. So, man, what's going through your mind now? We're about 3 weeks out or so. A little under 3 weeks.
Man, I'm fucking ready to go. Like, I sparred Monday, with someone who I'd say probably like 8 times out of 10, like we just beat the brakes out of each other, but I felt like I was just kind of ahead, and I know Jacob is not nearly as good as any of the people I'm sparring with. Like, I was just in California sparring with some of the best guys in the world, so I know he's not nearly as good as them, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if I get this fight to the ground, I'm gonna submit him. So, yeah.
Excellent, my man. Well,
oh man, like weight wise, mental wise, physically wise, cardio wise, I'm fucking ready to go.
Excellent, my man. Excellent. Well, just under, what'd you say, 18 days left, bro? Are you still planning on selling tickets, or you think you got everyone that's going to be going? They've already, you already hit your peak on that, or you're looking to sell more. What's going on with you?
I got tickets, man. People gotta hit me up. People are like, yo, I want tickets. And I'm like, all right, well, get your fucking tickets. And they're like, save me three. Like, I can't promise to save you tickets. Like, fucking give me the money and I'll save them. But I'm not just gonna save them if you're not gonna pay me for them. You know what I mean?
Excellent, my man. Well, shout out all your social media and how we get them, so we can sell some of the tickets. Also, how we get some of your merchandise, because you got a bunch of it, and I have one of your shirts, man. It gets all the looks at the gyms, man. No one can defy that wick burning bright, brother.
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Aaron Hughes 145. Twitter, Aaron Hughes MMA. Facebook, Aaron Hughes. I just want a quick shout out New England MMA for being so supportive of all the fighters, always reaching out and making my shirts. They came out sick. Very, very happy about that. I actually have to place a big order because I'm tired of telling people just go to the website. They're like, you got shirts? I'm just going to buy like 50 shirts and I'm just, okay, here, boom, boom,
Well,
boom.
I'm sure you can talk to Lars about that, and you can work that out without going through the website and all that other shit, man. So talk to him.
Yep.
I'm sure he can get that all done for you. So throw anything else out there. Anything. Oh, last thing. What do we expect to see from Aaron Hughes at great name, by the way, Neff 44, back in black. What do we expect to see from Aaron Hughes come August 21st?
You are going to see the most dominant performance that I have ever put on. I'm coming to win this fight, you know, like, don't matter who it is, you know, like, I don't care about that shit, you know. I'm coming to win, and I'm going to submit him in the first round.
Excellent, my boy. Well, I should be cage side there, hopefully. If not, I'll be somewhere in the media section watching you get your second fight under your belt, brother. A lot of people I got to talk to before then. I might be able to talk to your opponent and see his outtake on this. There's a lot of time left to contact a bunch of these fighters on the card. Bunch of shit going on. So, Aaron, man, congratulations on everything. You know, traveling, getting some work with Alpha Male, and you know, the whole team doing great things, man. And you following up, man, making your second pro appearance, brother. So, dude, thanks so much for coming on, man, and get some rest, and I'll see you in about 18 days.
Thank you. Just real quick before I go, I just want to give a shout out on my sponsors, Ultimate Potential CBD, you know, Major Key, hit them up. As always, shout out Regiment Training Center, you know, like, we're a small gym, man, but we are filled with talent and very knowledgeable coaches. The fucking people on Instagram can say what they want. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to my girl, Vanessa Patello, great massage therapist. Be kind, please revive. Hit her up if you're sore or whatever, hurting. Shout out to my mom, as always, because she's my biggest supporter, you know what I mean? And yeah, August 21st, man. First time back at 145 pounds in 3 years, but I'm feeling great, and I'm coming to win. I promise.
There you go. Aaron Short Fuse Hughes, 1-0, featherweight, ready to get his
2-0.
2-0. Ready to get his hand raised again at Net 44, back in black.
Yes,
Saturday,
sir.
August 21st in Milford, New Hampshire. I want to say Milford, Mass, but it's Milford, New Hampshire. There's a difference of an hour drive there for me. So with that said, Aaron, man, keep tuning in. I'm going to have Johnny Cupcakes on right now, and we're going to talk about his Bellator appearance coming up a week before yours, man. So have a great night, my man.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Thank you for having me.
Later. So, all right, I have to get all Aaron's shit off. There it is. Boom. Boom. And now I have to get all Johnny's stuff up. Boom. Oh, wrong one. Where are you, Johnny? Where are you? I need Johnny's. Oh, there it is. Johnny's text. Bellator poster. And we're good to go. All right, let me give Johnny a call. Let me tell him I'm calling him right now. Where are you, Johnny? All right. Where is he? Where is he? This is where I need, oh, wrong guy. Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Johnny, I'll find you. There you are. All I say is good to go. This is where I need a Jamie in the corner that does all this stuff for me. Here we go. Here we go. Get Johnny coming on. There's Johnny. There's the man. There's the myth. There's the legend. Johnny Cupcakes, man. How you doing, my friend?
Fantastic. How about you, Steve?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for the time tonight, my man. I know we tried to connect about, a couple of weeks, a week and a half ago when you had a different fight going on. And the day we were supposed to interview your fight for, where was it? I can't even think. It's been so long ago now that fight fell through. But then immediately I found out you got another fight, man. So let's talk about that little twister of fate that you switched fights here, man.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in a very short period of time. So Wilson Reyes went to that. Can I say fuck? He went to
Yeah,
that.
you could say it 100 times. Go ahead. Go. What?
Dude, he was at that fucking event with no cut on his face. It's like the Twilight Zone or something. He says, I can't fight because I will not be healed in time. And then he actually is at the event taking selfies with a face that looks pristine. I mean, he's not like a handsome guy or anything, but he had no cut on his face. So I don't know what is up with that. But I got a call from Lars, who was handling me for this fight, Full Contact. They do a fantastic job. Couldn't be happier with the job that they did. And I knew, the last text that we had sent back and forth was like, okay, so he said, let me know if you need anything. And then he texted me like the next morning, hey, call me when you get a chance. And I was like, this is not good news. This is not good news. It can't be. And he didn't even like finish the sentence. And I was like, yeah, Wilson's out, isn't he? He's like, yeah, unfortunately. So Wilson drops out pretty much immediately. I mean, I knew it was going to be kind of tough to get a replacement because he's from San Diego. He's a UFC veteran. He was a high-level flyweight, fought for the title, for crying out loud. It's like, who do they really want to fill that slot with? Mm-hmm. And then as like the days wore on, I was thinking, it's like, I signed up for a 5'4" UFC vet who's very credible. Everybody knows his name. Who do I want to fight a guy like that? Yeah. I don't want to fight some rando who they just scrape off the floor or whatever. I wanted that fight. So it was like, man, that's probably not going to happen. I get hit up by MMA, guy named Kyle, hits me up asking if I want to fight Justin Scoggins on 3 days' notice. And I was like, man, I do, but I'll be honest with you, I started eating like ice cream and stuff, and like maybe I can make 135, but my gym historically has had kind of some horror stories about missing weight, so I was not about to sign a contract for 135, knowing that I just like dumped a ton of carbs into my system. So it was like, I can do 140, and Scoggins is in the air flying to South Carolina. And they were like, well, we're just going to, when he gets off the plane, we're going to tell him, because his opponent popped for COVID. So when he gets off the plane, we're just going to say, hey, you're fighting this guy. And it's at 140. And that's kind of the way that it is. And so I fucking went home. I called my corners. I'm like, I need to, set up planes rides for these guys now. And, I pack my bag again that I'm getting ready now from first San Diego, now South Carolina. I'm all excited. I fucking start pounding water. I eat no more garbage that day. And, and then he hits me up, or, Pulver kind of took the reins. Cause I mean, I think Tyson Chartier might've had something to do with it getting set up. I mean, he's, always kind of hated me, so I'm not sure if it's true, but I understand that Kyle reached out to him like, you got anybody? And he was like, hey, I know Mike Pulver. He manages this dude Cupcakes, which he's not, but he's more of a mentor. But so Pulver took that over real quick, and he hits me up like, Scoggins is giving him trouble. But it's about money, so stay thirsty, keep drinking, because you might have a fight. And then, it was like, oh, well, give me until 8 o'clock, and then 8:20 rolls around, and they're like, give me another hour. And then 9:30 comes around, and they say he wants like crazy money to fight you. And it's like, this guy's a UFC vet. He was a 25er, but now he's at 35. So and it's like 140, but I fought at 25 before. I was just getting ready for a fight. I mean, I'm eating like donuts and bonbons and stuff 2 days ago. It's like, why can you not accept this? But he didn't like it. I'm sure he was up in his hotel room watching my stuff and was like, this is not a good fight for me. And he bailed on it.
Wilson seemed to think the same thing. You know what I mean? Unless they had some great super glue and a buffer on hand to pretty him up. But why would he do that? You would want to look like you're injured or like you can't fight. So that's the mentality of some of these people, right, bro?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I get it. People want winnable fights, but it's like they're signing a dotted line for a guy who's 21-13. And then when they dig down below the surface, they're like, oh, damn, this
Yeah.
guy might hurt me if I fight him. Maybe I shouldn't do that. And Scoggins just straight up was honest about it. I mean, one of the guys from XMMA said, I'll be honest, it's not because Pulver goes, he counters with, oh, well, what if we shave 500 off of each end of Cupcakes as money and we give it to them? And he was like, "No, we're not even close to the ballpark that they're in. For $1,000, they were like, that's not even going to come close." And it's like they said, I think he's afraid of the fight. So these guys in the UFC or ex-UFC, and then even like Chris Motino in there fighting with a top 10 bantamweight, hanging with them. I mean, it's like, dude, it's so clear that I belong at the top of this division in whatever promotion it is that I end up in. So Bellator had hit me up like a week before Cage Warriors, and they're like, "Oh, hey, are you available?" And I was like, "Oh, funny. I asked you guys like 4 times if that I would wait for you guys, and you were like, nah, 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 you can go ahead." So there's like, well, I can't fight. I can't guarantee anything. If I walk through Wilson, maybe I can make a 2-week turnaround. Give me like a little bit of time. Then he drops out, so I immediately hit them up like, "Yo, who is this guy that you want me to fight?" Because it turns out I might be available now. And they said Danny Sabatello. And he's a fucking stud, man. I mean, on paper, this dude is like a fucking killer. He is absolutely not, in real life, the same guy that he is on paper. But on paper, nobody wants to fight this guy. And I
Dude,
got,
as far as him, this kid is a wrestling fucking guru. Like, he is a boa. He doesn't let you. That's his game, man. The people that he's taking out, he just frustrated the shit out of them and just kept taking them down and grinding them until they had nothing left, man. Man, his last 2 fights, man, that's when I, caught eye. He was on the Contender Series. He had a grueling, a grinding fight there too. But that's what he does in fights, man. This fight is actually 100 times better than them previous 2 fights that you have. This is a Bellator guy right here. This is a guy that has a chip on his shoulder, thinks he's better than everyone in that division. He thinks he's the next best thing in that division. He's not afraid to say it. He talks. He tells everyone they suck. He's the best. And that's just in line for you, brother. And I'm sure the money for this fight's even better. It's your second Bellator fight. You're going in there on short notice again, and you got a big win in there, brother. So everything happens for a reason, and I think this fight right here, brother, is your key to get to that next level, man. So let's talk about this matchup and the level that you just moved up in competition.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, like you touched on, he is the same type of name that I had with Wilson. Wilson was like, he is a name who's been in the UFC, been there, done that. And this guy, he fought on a Contender right in front of Dana White, said he was going to like mop the floor with that dude, said he was a freestyle fighter and that he's mean and he comes forward and he beats guys. And then he just laid on a dude. I mean, he was a little more active than he was in his Bellator fight. I mean, in his Bellator fight, he took on like 7 days notice and he fights who else but Brett Johns, who is another UFC vet. It's like this guy fights in front of Dana White, then he beats Brett Johns on 7 days notice. If Bellator isn't my future, then I feel like this sends a message directly to Dana White. Like, yo, this guy is taking dudes out who that are beating the crap out of some very high level competition who have been in and around the UFC. So my goal is to just beat the ever living daylights out of this man the entire time that we're in the cage, and to stay moving laterally so that his shots aren't nearly as easy to calculate. He's very big on like backs up like a coward, and then as soon as his ass hits the cage, that's when he shoots.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost too predictable, but it gets the job done. So we are working on a game plan for that, obviously. So Yeah, I think that this is a brilliant fight with Jay Perrin. Perrin holds me against the cage. He works a little bit in there. He lands some elbows. He does a little bit. He tries for some takedowns. This dude will most likely do less than Jay Perrin. And when I came after Jay Perrin, I feel like that's when it became like this is Cupcakes 2.0. I went carnivore for quite a while. I changed up quite a bit about the way that my game was. I started throwing my hands so much more after Dan Dubuque, which kind of was a spark after, Jay Perrin. It was like everything has just moved along. And if I can prove by beating this dude that I have actually overcome those obstacles that I've had to face in the past, even with Jeff Perez, man, I mean, that's a tough fight. And a lot of people say like, oh, he won like 12 minutes of that fight, yada, yada, yada. But if you watch the fight closely, I beat the soul out of that man until essentially he gives up. And that is what the game plan is with Danny Sabatello. We will be wrestling this man because he is a Purdue D1, finalist qualifier, all that. So for sure, he's going to end up wrapping me up and we will wrestle. But I promise to you that I'm going to make every one of his brain cells shake and I'm going to kill a lot of them. And before that fight is over, he is going to decide that I'm sure he has a wonderful degree that he got from fucking Purdue. That motherfucker could probably be out being like a neurobiologist or some shit. When I kill 10,000 of his brain cells, he is going to reconsider if the Bellator cage is where he wants to make his career. And I'm 21-13. I've been in this game a long time, and I know that this is what I want to do, and I love to do it. And I think that I can prove to him that he's in the wrong field.
Well, Johnny, you've been sharpening up your game, this whole time, coming, through the lockdown and all this other stuff, you're getting fights. And then that last fight, you just shocked the Bellator community. You didn't shock us. We knew you could do it. We knew what was in store for this guy. But, while you've been, I would say, on the shelf waiting for fights, man, you've been getting a lot of work on the jiu-jitsu mats. That's going to help you with this fight. I mean, I know that, like you said, his wrestling credentials are through the roof, but you've been working hard, dude, on your ground game, man, and it's shown. You've been wrestling and you've been jiu-jitsuing prodigies out there, dude, like killers out there. Some of the best mat people out there, dude. I got some video, and I mean, you had a combat jiu-jitsu match, so you were getting work while you had fights coming up, man. So has that elevated and helped you through with your MMA game?
Yeah, absolutely. That's always been the goal, really, is to be a martial artist and to not just be a fighter or a cage fighter, but to really be learning. And that's why you can take L's and keep moving forward, because ultimately the goal was not ever to be like an undefeated MMA fighter. It was to be a martial artist and to be one of the best fighters to ever live. And taking losses taught me so much about the fight game. And then doing jiu-jitsu, you can lose in jiu-jitsu and still gain so much knowledge. Every time you get on that mat and you compete, you learn more and more and more. And that's what I take these jiu-jitsu matches and things for, is they just make me a better competitor. They slow everything down in your brain. Once you've been in there and you compete, then you go back to the mats at your gym and everything's slowed down just a little bit. I've always been saying that this is like a video game that we're living in, and it's like an MMORPG. And when I do jiu-jitsu tournaments and things and matches, I gain experience points and my jiu-jitsu numbers go up. And I love it. I love doing it. I love even the small setting that we have at Enigma. They make it feel so big in that place, and the fans are such fans of the sport, not just the competitors, but the sports are there. Very educated, and they really give you a lot of energy when you're in there on that mat. And I just love to do it. So, and I think that most definitely Danny Sabatello, ace on the wrestling front for sure. He's training with guys at ATT. I'm sure in general his game has been improving and coming along, but the way that I've been honing my fighting craft for so long, you just can't catch up. If we wrestled tomorrow, I'm sure he would dominate me. But when we fight on August 13th, I'm going to mess that man up.
Well, my friend, you've been in training camp. You are ready. I mean, you had a couple of fights fall through. You're getting that jiu-jitsu work in between. Dude, you're going against dudes that could, snap an ankle on you when you have a high-profile fight coming up. So you're not afraid to get in there and get the work and have that, that competition where, I could lose, but lose big here if I, you've been handling yourself great in there. You've been a lot of treat for, the people to watch you come in there along with some other MMA individuals around the area. It's great to see you guys giving back and coming to have fun and doing that. But, man, it's also great to see you thriving in the MMA cage and getting another chance to perform for Bellator. And, basically he's going to be coming into your hometown, even though he's a Bellator guy. New England's going to be blowing the roof off that place, watching and sending you positive vibes, man. We know Danny's a talker. We know there's going to be a lot of highlight stuff on him. Bellator's probably going to, do a little segment on him, and he's going to play that Cupcakes sucks. I'm going to fucking eat the frosting off him or something like that. Is that something that you can't wait for? Because you're going to get your airtime too. Maybe not as much as him, but you could steal the thunder here with war words, brother.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can't even wait. I'm maybe as excited for that as I am to fight. The more that I would watch his fights, the more I wanted to kick this guy's ass. It was just like, this dude is so annoying. He is like white privilege embodied as a human being. The guy is a fucking tool. Makes me kind of mad. So, dude, I can't wait. And when we weigh in, I'm going to go face to face with him. I'm going to tell him exactly why he's not in the UFC. He did an interview not long ago about how he's mad he wasn't, picked on to go into the UFC. And it's like, dude, why do you think that? Are you so blind? Are you so or lacking self-awareness? It's because you're boring. You're a boring fighter. And I'm going to tell him that from the moment I see him until the moment we get out of the cage. When I stop him and that referee pulls me off him, I'm going to look down at him and I'm going to tell him again, he's a boring fighter. No one wants to watch him fight. And I just had to take him out because of that. I feel like the universe has kind of brought us together because this dude just needs to be set straight. And by doing it, if he fought like Magomed Magomedov and that guy beats him, he'd be like, oh, well, he's the best in the world, obviously. But when a 21-13 dude kicks the shit out of him and he is confused and lost and he doesn't know what's going on around him, his world is just going to fall apart when he realizes this guy that I should be destroying on paper is killing me in the ring. He's gonna fall apart. I promise that. I mean, as tough as wrestlers are and gritty, it's just different when it's a fight. It's different. They're in there without cups on. They're rubbing their faces on guys' dicks and stuff, and they're happy to do it. It's like, what? It's not fighting, dude. God, I just saw a fucking horrible meme on I think it was.
Oh, I saw it.
The fake martial art one. That dude was packing, man. That dude had a fucking huge dick. It was like a Pringles can. That dude was just rubbing on it. And then he won and celebrated.
Sorry, wrestlers. I love you out there.
So messed up, dude. I get it. But yeah, man, I'm going to take it to this guy. Yeah. He's 5'10". So, I mean, without a doubt, as good at wrestling as he's going to be, I'm going to most definitely be the more powerful individual in there. And I really look forward to just pushing his head down and then raining elbows and punches on him.
Excellent, my man. Well, we're a little under a couple of weeks. 10 days or so, 10, 11 days, man. What's left in, you've been in camp for a while now, but same old, man. What's left to do in these last few days before you're not traveling across the country? So it's a little better trek for you, man. So what's left for you?
Yeah, so for just maintenance basically at this point because of the Wilson Reyes and then the XMMA and then this, it's my weight's pretty good. I mean, I dehydrated last time for Henry Corrales. The night I began, I was 151.6. And we dehydrated I think it was like 16 pounds, 16.2 or something to get to 135.7. And this morning I woke up at 151.6. So 10 days away, and I'm already, I could dehydrate tomorrow if I needed to. I plan on, shaving off maybe a pound or two more. I wanted to come in a little bit lighter. That's a tough cut, 15, 16 pounds, especially in those little sauna boxes that they give you,
Yeah.
man. You would think that they're more convenient or more comfortable, but they're really not. I actually prefer a regular sauna. There's something that's less comfortable about these freaking things, but COVID, we got to use these sauna boxes. So I want to do more like 12 to 14 or something like that. So we're ready to go. And it's really just about like jumping rope. And I was working with a Brown University wrestler the other night, and then even high level high school wrestler tonight, and just going over these little details where like, hey, this fellow uses like these 3 things in all of his fights, and he does that consistently. And they're like, oh, well, here's a couple of easy counters from, a wrestling perspective. So, I mean, I feel like I've been problem solving for this fight more ahead of time than any other opponent. And yeah, I'm just super, super ready to go. So just maintenance and barely even diet. I ate like pretty heartily today because I have so much time, 10 days, and I'm really already on weight. So yeah, I'm just hungry to get in there, really. So really just like killing time is what I'm
Awesome.
doing.
Well, Johnny, I believe you will be the favorite as far as fighters rooting for you to win this fight.
Definitely.
I'm sure Danny hasn't left a lot of his opponents feeling good about themselves, like the way he's spoken to him, even after a loss, man. That's part of his game. That's kind of part of his hype. But you have your own kind of hype, brother. You put hype to rest, and you build your own, dude. And you've been doing it for so long now, man. And the time is yours, brother. Things happen for a reason. These 2 fights fell through. They were great fights that you could have had. But this one, in my eyes, is the fight. It's Bellator. You beat this kid. You call your own shots for Bellator, or UFC has to look at you, and your name is in their eyes, brother. So congratulations, man, on keeping the train rolling and getting a fight through all the adversity and all the change in the last couple of weeks, man. It's a pleasure, man, to watch it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just staying positive, knowing that everything happens, for me, and not letting anything get in the way. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe it's like me not having a real like straight up manager that gives me the freedom to just go and do what I please, really. But and some of these dudes, nobody wants to fight. Like Corrales coming down from 45, and he beats all kinds of studs and stuff. Nobody is jumping for this fight. They offered me this fight like with probably 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, or at 3.5 or so. And then when I take it, there was like 2+ weeks. I mean, and in that like 5, 6, 7 days, nobody was signing up for that fight. There aren't a lot of dudes who are comfortable, confident in fighting a dude like this. There's too many guys that want to fight cans until they get to the UFC. And we just see all the time that's just not the way to do it. If you're tested in the UFC, it's hard enough to fight in the UFC. I can only imagine to fight on that platform. It's like everything you've been dreaming of, and then it's right in front of you. Fudge, that must be twisted. But that then also be like, oh, and for the first time, I'm fighting someone tough. Terrible combination. You should be in a way, I didn't do it the right way, but I feel like my way was even closer to the right way. You need to be testing yourself gradually as you go up. And I'm to the point now where I will fight Danny Sabatello on 10, 15 days notice. And I am pretty damn fucking sure that I'm going to whoop his ass. So there are just not a lot of guys out there that have that confidence and have that willingness. So I look forward to getting in there, putting on a tremendous show, and then just continuing to move forward as a good role model for fighters and for human beings in general. I want to be looked at as somebody that some people can go, okay, that dude has it going on, and I should start acting more like him. And that's what I'm trying to do at this point, is just be a good role model for everybody else out there in humanity, because we're all one. No matter how much right now everybody wants to tell us that we're separate and that we're different and that we're angry at each other, it's not true. And when we die, we're all going to go back to the same fucking place, which is like source or whatever. And when we're in this existence, it's just as interconnected and just as one. And I want everybody to know that there's no difference between us and we can all succeed, just not Danny Sabatello. So he doesn't get to succeed, unfortunately.
Awesome, my man. Last thing, man. Thank you, social media. And I'll, if you have a sponsor or two, I'll let you get out of here, my man.
Yeah, I've just Johnny CC MMA on Instagram and Twitter, and then Cupcakes, Johnny Campbell on Facebook. So I'd love it if everybody could give me a follow on those. That would be very helpful. Yeah, sponsors are all over the place. I actually need to get some, get some probably, because this fight is going to be huge. So, yeah, right now I don't have any like reoccurring ones. So, but the people that have supported me in the past know who they are, and they know how much they've helped me. So, including yourself, Domenico, you, the ambassador of fighters, man, I appreciate everything that you do, putting us out there. It's huge and very helpful.
Awesome, my man. Well, thank you for your time as always, my man. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And
I should thank my girlfriend real quick.
Dude,
actually.
Fuck. And I didn't even have it up there because
she's the best.
She's the one that gave me the beans that day. You know what she did? She messaged me because I was putting all the Joe Rogan memes up, shit like that with his face. Yeah. So she messages me and she goes, because we were supposed to interview that day or something like that. So I think she goes, did you hear Johnny's fight fell through? And it was probably 5 minutes after, Laz told you. And she goes, can you make a meme on Johnny's ear? And she goes, and did you hear his fight fell through? I went, what the fuck? Wait a minute. His fight fell through. Yeah. It's fucking 5 days away. He's going to fucking across country to San Diego. And then she goes, yeah, but he's got a better fight. And like she explained it. I'm like, no shit. And that's when I came up with the meme that, asking like, what's up with the fucking fight?
That's awesome.
It was
That's
good.
A beautiful thing.
I'm surprised I didn't get banned off Facebook because the first time I put it up there when it first happened, they blurred it out on me, but not this time, man. But yeah, Martina, she is awesome, man. It went over well, dude. I shared that on like 12 fucking group MMA pages and they loved the shit.
That's awesome. That's fucking brilliant.
So, my man, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you enjoy your night, and this last few days before you make history in Bellator and go to your ultimate goal, my man, by the end of this year, bro.
Definitely, 100%.
All right, my man.
Appreciate it very much.
And I will see you at Cage Titans. Anyway,
yes, you definitely will.
A couple of weeks after your fight. So, my man.
Yeah, we're gonna eat some pizza.
Yeah, definitely, and do a lot of things, man. So, you have a good night, Johnny, and thank you so much for the time, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Take care, bro. All right. There you go. Johnny Cupcakes Campbell in the Room podcast. That was awesome, man. He's a fucking awesome guy. He's gonna, man, the hype for this fight coming up because Sabatello is not a nice guy as far as the way he talks to his opponents. It's a mind game, and he's pretty good at it. And he's a pretty goddamn good wrestler, but I think Johnny's going to catch him and have his way on this fight, man. So with that said, I don't think there's any more to say. I have two huge guests next week that are fighting on Cage Titans against each other. I will announce it on Monday. I already put it on my Instagram stories if you want to check out who's going to be on the show. It's going to be the first time I have opponents on the show. They will not be on the same time. I will have one of the opponents on first and then the next one on next. But they can chatter against each other on the comment sections. And who knows, maybe, maybe they will call in at the same time at some point. So with that said, follow, share, and last thing, my new shirt, the Room Podcast shirts are out. We have a couple to choose from on the website. On the back, it says newenglandmma.org. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. There it is. And then on the front, in the pocket, is the Room Podcast. So come on, they're only like $22 for this cool shirt, plus shipping. So buy a shirt, support the supporters, and that's about it. So with that said, CES is this Friday night. Travis and Lars will be there covering the show. They've been sending out a bunch of articles and matchup articles on CES. So check that shit out and make sure to tune in CES on Fight Pass on Friday night. So with that said, thank you so much, people. And we are out of here.